run away. That's what I'll do.
Better take the side door. Out the side door. There's a channel online where you can waste all your time watching videos made by a guy. There's another door. Over there. Over there. Come on. Come on. What he does, the vids they blow.
Look who's back. Certainly been a long time now, hasn't it? I think it was over 4 years ago when I uploaded my video. This couch that I'm definitely sitting on right now. It's been a wild ride, you know, it's been 4 years. It's been over 4 years. There's been a lot of ups, a lot of downs, and we're just not gonna get into that right now because I really just don't care. Instead, what we're gonna do in lieu of a legitimate response to where I've been or what my channel is or why I made 3 Lethal Company videos for no reason at all and then just decided I didn't want to do it anymore because I have very finite passion. Ignoring that, I wanted to make a video about Mario Kart. More specifically, I wanted to make a video about Mario Kart tracks. Everyone and their mother's already done that. So I decided I wanted to make a video about Mario Kart music tracks. Now unfortunately for me, it seems like that's already been done too. So whatever. I don't really care. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to make this video. It'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Is this content? Is this content? Is this what people want to see? I'm breaking the illusion. I'm breaking the realistic illusion. This effect 100% worth the time to set up. NVIDIA broadcast software that's just god awful, terrible shit garbage that I can't stand at all. 100%. It belongs in my machine. I'm glad. This webcam from 2004, brilliant. The production quality, fantastic. Again, our effects department blowing it out of the water. Yes, so I've got a nice tier list thing that I can sort of just very easily slot stuff into, and it makes my life nice and easy. That's what we're doing because quality content. We're gonna start off our beautiful special tier list into a nice little box here. So we're gonna do... yeah, we'll do that. That works for me. Okay, so I feel like I should probably start from the first game and work my way through because that's just the reasonable thing to do. So we're going to start off with Super Mario Kart here. Now, Super Mario Kart is interesting. Its main motif shows up in every single subsequent Mario Kart after it, making it kind of the Mario Kart theme song. It's classic, it's catchy, it's got a great tune, it's awesome. It's awesome. So I want to give it a high ranking. However, some of the music tracks that come later on, they're better. They're just better. As a result, Super Mario Kart gets a firm C. It's good. Oh, it's good, but it's not fantastic. Now on to the next game, Super Mario 64. This one's kind of a classic. If you're on YouTube for any period of time, you're watching YouTubers, any sort of gaming content, you're bound to at some point, even if it's not a video related to Mario Kart 64, to hear Mario Kart 64's music. It's iconic, it's great, it's awesome, and this is where we see the trend of all Mario Kart titles in the future sort of copying the main motif of Super Mario Kart. It's a lot less prevalent in 64, I think, than it is in the later games, but it's one of the best parts of the Mario Kart music by far. Like, it is, as soon as you get to that motif, that's how you know it's a Mario Kart track, and as a result, I gotta give it a B rank because it starts a beautiful trend. It's simply iconic, and I personally don't have much experience with Mario Kart 64. I had it on my Wii Virtual Console, same thing with Super Mario Kart, but I always preferred Super Mario Kart because it was just faster, and even though it was very unlike what I was used to, just like Mario Kart 64, it didn't really matter. To me, it looked better. I didn't really like how Mario Kart 64 looked. And I'll be honest, I'm still not the biggest fan of it. It's one of my least favorite Mario Kart games. And that's not because it's bad, it's just because I feel like it's been usurped. But you can kill me for that later. Anyways, on to the next one with quality content, baby. Alright, now we're on to Mario Kart Super Circuit. This was a game for the Game Boy Advance, and I did actually get to play it. I played it more later in life. I made a custom backlit Game Boy Advance when I was in high school, and I would bring it to a lot of my classes, and when I was done with my work, if I could get away with it, usually play my Game Boy Advance. And yeah, there are many of the other classic titles that you'd expect for me to play, but one of the big ones that I would play was Mario Kart Super Circuit. Now, I had a DS. I wanted to feel different. I don't know what to tell you. Super Circuit kind of lacks in its music department, even though I can kind of see what they're going for, because the GBA's music chip is basically 3 homeless guys that just figured out how to use a synthesizer for the first time and are running it at, like, I don't know, 5 kilohertz. It doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound good. There's many videos that'll explain how the GBA just never had dedicated sound hardware for music and how that affects the soundtracks of so many Game Boy Advance games.
So to add some clarity to what I just said, basically the Game Boy Advance has 2 16-bit digital analog converters, and all audio is done in software. It is also usually only 8 or 16 kilohertz, not 32, although it's technically possible.
Irrelevant. It's going to go firmly into C rank, and it's going to go behind Super Mario Kart. It doesn't have the same iconic power, and the musical motif, it just doesn't have the same power that Super Mario Kart does, and unlike Super Mario Kart, its music merely has a motif from the original. It doesn't set new trends in the way the music of the games is structured going forward. It is plain and simple Mario Kart Super Circuit. So that's the lowest ranked one so far. That might be controversial. That's okay. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just the lowest ranked so far. You know, actually, come at me. Moving on. Next, we've got my favorite Mario Kart. Behind the other 4 on the screen next to it, of course, Mario Kart Double Dash. Now, this is one that I played a lot when I was a kid. Nostalgia is definitely going to have some sort of an impact on my ranking of it as a whole. It is hectic. It is zany. It's wacky. It very much reflects the state of items in the game overall. They're wacky. They're crazy. Fucking items flying all over the place. Shells bouncing off the walls. You've got, like, hearts that steal items. All sorts of wacky concepts. 2 characters on a cart? What's that? Dual item boxes? That's crazy. The theme perfectly personifies this. And not to mention, its motif callback to Super Mario Kart is perfect. It's clear to hear, it's very direct in its motif, and it's beautiful. It's just beautiful. This is our first A rank. Next, we've got Mario Kart DS. Now, Mario Kart DS is an interesting one because it was the first Mario Kart game that I think I got into. I must have played this for 100, 200 hours at least. It was one of my most played DS games, up there with 64 DS and Elite Beat Agents, because they're great games. Irrelevant. Mario Kart DS is one of the best themes in the entire series. It's brilliant, it's great, it's fun, it's classic. The DS's sound hardware might not be impressive, but it was able to produce a very iconic sound for its time. And even though it is all some form of MIDI, I suppose.
So while the DS did in fact have sequenced instruments, it wasn't limited exclusively to MIDI, nor was it MIDI. So for me to say it was all basically MIDI was a little disingenuous, if not kind of accurate.
It still sounds great, and I love to hear it. Every time I hear that start, every time I hear I can't help but get excited. Mario Kart DS's theme is fantastic, and goes firmly in S rank. Fight me on that. Next, we've got Mario Kart Wii. So Mario Kart Wii is an interesting one because I played it a ton as a kid also, and I really like its theme. It is a lot of fun. Its motif is fun. It's a fun theme. But I don't like it as much as Double Dash, and I don't like it as much as DS. It isn't bad at all, but it isn't amazing either. And even though I personally prefer it over Mario Kart 64 because of my personal memories, the reality is I don't think it's as good. Therefore, it's going to go behind Mario Kart 64 in B rank because that's how I feel. So now into Mario Kart 7. Mario Kart 7 was a release on the 3DS, and even though it was a portable title, so it was not necessarily a mainline title, which I don't agree with because the portable games also introduced gameplay changes, but whatever. Mario Kart 7 introduced gliding and underwater sections, and both of these massively changed the way that tracks are laid out. Now personally, I'm not really too much of a fan of either. I think the anti-grav introduced in 8 is better, but that's not why we're here. We're here for the music, and the music is alright. I don't mind it. It's not bad, but I certainly don't think it's amazing or as iconic as some of the other ones either. It might not be the most satisfying conclusion for me to come to, but it's going to go firmly in B rank because that's just how I feel. I don't know if it's better or worse than Mario Kart Wii. I can't really make that decision, but I'm going to put it behind Mario Kart Wii because I played more Mario Kart Wii, and this is my tier list. I can do what I want. Finally, we've got Mario Kart 8. Now, Mario Kart 8 is amazing. It's an amazing game. It's a clear evolution of the series as a whole. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is absolutely where I think the Mario Kart series was headed in the future. I'm so excited for the next title with the innovations they made in 8. It's clear that the team knows what they're doing, knows what players want, knows what players want, and overall, it's great. It's a fantastic package. It's one of the best-selling, if not the best-selling Mario Kart game of all time. And it's great. It's fantastic. And the soundtrack matches with it perfectly. It's amazing. Its motif callback to Super Mario Kart is amazing. And overall, it's just a fantastic package. The musical sting when you enter Mario Kart 8 is fantastic. It gets you excited so quickly, and the dueling guitar and brass just sound phenomenal. It's amazing. It's amazing. And that's going to go firmly in S rank. It is one of the best Mario Kart themes there is. And while DS still beats it out for me because of nostalgia, that's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. I don't know. I don't know what you want me to tell you. Well, I think that just about does it for this shitty video that I slapped together in 25 minutes.
Aren't you forgetting something?
Oh, yes, of course. Thank you for pointing that out, astute viewer. I'm missing the Mario Kart Arcade GP games. How could I forget those? Oh man, well, I'm not really going to dedicate a whole part of the video to these because I think their themes kind of pale in comparison to the actual mainline Mario Karts, but here you go. We've got C rank, we've got C rank, and we've got C rank. Yay! They're all just kind of good. They're not terrible, actually. I'm going to put that one down there along with that one because they're not as good. Alright. And I think that just about does it. That's been the video.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you!
That's right. There's one more Mario Kart game that I am forgetting. Mario Kart Tour. That's right. It's fucking awful. It's the worst Mario Kart music I've ever heard. That's fucking it. Is this a joke? It's fucking terrible. For me to include Mario Kart Tour here is a little bit disingenuous. Basically, it doesn't have a theme music, at least not one outside of its trailer. It only has main menu music and the music that plays during the opening logos / loading screen, which isn't exactly what I would call a main theme. Thus, I can include it for comedic effect, but in reality, it doesn't really have a bad theme because it doesn't really have a theme at all. At least not one officially released. Leave a like if you give a shit. Don't if you... Leave a like if you give a shit. Don't if you don't. I don't really give a fuck. This video's trash. Just fuck you, man. I don't even... Why did I do this? This shit.
The vids they blow. Media, the one for ya.